We're almost ready for Austin. The American Grand Prix is just round the corner and we're starting to look ahead as Mercedes fear that their raw speed won't be the only thing that will get them to the top of the driver and constructor standings by the end of this season. And the FIA makes a smart decision to perhaps just slow down on some of the changes coming into Formula One next year. I'm Ollie Wilson for GPFans. Hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all of the news and views from around the world of Formula One. And let's get into the headlines this Wednesday. Let's kick things off with Michael Masi once more as Formula One continues to get its house in order for the 2022 season, with the FIA race director confirming that F1 will be postponing its wholesale changes to the sporting regulations until 2023 to give teams time to focus on the technical changes coming into next season. Now, this doesn't mean that the car redesigns, etc. are going to be thrown out of the window and delayed until 2023. That needs to be confirmed right off the top here. Instead, this is the rewritten sporting regulations that were set to come into effect next year as well. But Masi has decided to hold off the move for 12 months to give teams more time to prepare their cars for the coming year. Now, some changes will still be coming in, and the changes that will be made include the reduction of the weekend from 4 days to 3 through the removal of the traditional Thursday media day, as well as various aspects related to the sprint qualifying format. Asked if the FIA will definitely introduce the full updated sporting regulations in 2023, Masi said, "Yes, we will. For 23 is the aim." The sporting directors have all clearly acknowledged, together with all of that, with all of the various management of COVID requirements and so forth, that everyone's time to get their head around that is something they would just prefer just to put off for 12 months. It was a consensus with the teams. I knew I had a lot of work ahead of me, but a number of them said straight out that with all of the other things that we have going on with new cars, etc., let's do ourselves all a favour with fine-tuning what we have. Grab all the elements that we have changed in 22, put them in the unknown formats that we have, because with everything else happening next year with the new car, let's go for something known rather than something completely unknown where we're all just going to be flying a bit blind and not used to it. Let's do that. Postpone until 2023, get all of the relevant elements that were changed in the 22 regulations will be brought into the current format. Elsewhere, as we get closer to Austin and the weekend's action, James Allison, the Mercedes chief technical director, feels that more than just speed will determine the victor in the team's championship fight with Red Bull this season. Mercedes sit 36 points ahead of their rivals in the Constructors' Championship, with Max Verstappen leading the Drivers' Championship ahead of Lewis Hamilton by 6 points going into this weekend's American Grand Prix. The Mercedes man Allison understands that reliability is just as big a part of this title run-in for both teams and drivers as the raw speed on track, a point marked out by the recent decisions from both Red Bull and Mercedes to give their drivers new engines and power units for the last 6 races of the season. And the technical director was even cautious of using the unmatched dominance of Valtteri Bottas's win in Turkey as a yardstick for his team's hopes for the end of the season, despite the Finn finishing 14.5 seconds ahead of his closest rival on the day, Max Verstappen. There is more than just speed that will determine the outcome of these races though, as the last several have shown us, said Allison. There is reliability, there is pit stops, there is the weather, there is the whole gamut of things that is the sort of excitement of an F1 race, and we have to perform well in all of those. But we are in with a fighting chance. It's a thrilling season, and these last few races should make this a season that will be thought of for many years to come as one of the classics in F1. I think it's difficult to take Turkey as a sort of yardstick for what we can expect from the rest of the season, Allison continued to explain. It was a very strong weekend. We were looking good all the way through dry, wet, free practice, qualifying, race. We were strong this weekend. On the others, I think arguably we have shaded it with the quickest car, and in a couple of places like Istanbul, Sochi, we were proper good. Monza too, good as well. So on average, I think we have shaded it, but in most of those places where we have been the quicker car, it has been more of a sort of coin toss than a sort of guarantee. What I think that means is that we at least are in the fight. So who are you starting to put your money on in Austin this weekend? It's a track that Hamilton thrives at, but will Mercedes' raw speed be enough to get them past Red Bull this weekend and restore the British drivers' lead atop the Drivers' Championship standings? And how about the smart decision perhaps by the FIA just to slow down with all of the changes that are coming into Formula 1 next year? Is it smart to just wait, hold off with the technical changes and the sporting regulations together, and instead get the technical regulations down first and foremost, and then start to manipulate the rest of the sport? Let us know in the comments section below as always, and hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with everything we do here at GP Fans.